Coming up on today's episode, fresh off of week 9, you know what that means, the NFL trade deadline. We had some blockbusters this time around. We had some names that didn't get called. A lot of wide receivers on the move. We'll get into it all coming up. All right, everybody, welcome to Sports Talk from the Crib. I'm your host, Tanner Christian. What an interesting week 9. We had a lot of great games going on, but you know what time it is. It's Tuesday. The NFL trade deadline is here. We had some blockbusters. I'm kind of shocked with some of the names, but fire sale going on with the New York Jets and other teams just trying to improve to get their shot of their window. That's just basically maybe this year, next year. You know, some good trades, man. Some maybe a little overdone, but I like some of these trades we saw happen. Some guys that didn't get traded, unfortunately. That I'm kind of shocked that didn't happen. First, if you're new, episodes air every Tuesday and Saturday morning. Now, remember that Tuesday and Saturday morning, you will see the new episodes. Kind of works out a little better in my schedule. And website, sportstalkfromthecrib.com. Check us out on there. You can stream the podcast, as well as our social media. It's at Feel the Heat Entertainment, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, X, TikTok, you name it, we're on it. Check out those YouTube short videos regarding Cocoa Beans picks. Coco, you failed me this time. You lost 2 of them. But who would have thought, though? She was on a roll. Now I'm really big in the lost column now because I went with her. I was like, I'm going with Coco on these. Whatever you say, I'm rolling with it too. And we went with the Colts and Danny Dimes. They lost 5 turnovers. I think 6 turnovers total in that game. They lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers. So everybody's lining up Pittsburgh, but Danny Dimes went back to being Danny Dimes again. Just dropping the football and throwing interceptions. So we got bad there in the Lions. Vikings shocked the Lions with J.J. McCarthy. You know, again, his 3rd overall start, and just taking care of business on the road. Maybe it's a Michigan thing. It's Detroit's in Michigan. Maybe he just doesn't lose in Michigan. We'll see what happens in the coming weeks. But we did get Buffalo. Over the Chiefs. Good call there. Regular season, Buffalo usually wins in the playoffs. Probably going to roll with the Chiefs if they face each other. So, you know, an okay week from Coco and I in the game picks. But now let's get into it. Let's get into all the trades that have happened. The biggest one, Sauce Gardner, cornerback for the Jets, was traded to the Indianapolis Colts. Like I said, the Colts just came off that loss, turned the ball over. Their window is now, can they hurry up and get some wins and fix that defense up a little bit? You know, to help old Danny Dimes out before Danny Dimes goes back to being like he was in New York. But anyways, traded to the Colts. Colts gave up a lot. 2 first-round picks and wide receiver Adonai Mitchell in the trade, going back to the New York Jets. So the Jets had a fire sale. This isn't the only trade they went and did. We'll get into that here in a second. But big trade here for Indianapolis. You know, Sauce Gardner just signed a $120.4 million extension this past offseason. Dead cap, though, is only $13.75 million that the Jets are going to take the hit on. He's going to average about $26 million a year for the Colts from 2026 to 2030. The way the Jets did this contract, it basically just pushed all that guaranteed money towards the end. You know, you see a lot of it now in NFL contracts being front-loaded, where a lot of money's in those first couple of years and they can get out of the contract. This one's kind of steadily spread out a little bit. It takes a bigger hit as, you know, the years go on. So that's something Indianapolis may have to, you know, worry about in a couple years from now if they want to. But it's manageable the way this contract was done, even though it was a record-setting $120.4 million extension they just signed. And you know, it kind of works itself out in a way, I guess, if you look at it a certain way, because, like I said, the Jets aren't really on the book for anything. Not a big dead cap hit for trading them. Usually when you sign into a player's trade extension, you have that dead cap, man. A dead cap on all these guys like 80 mil plus. Now the way they structure the contracts, like I said, everything gets front loaded. But in this instance, I think it's really going to work out. Indianapolis did pay 2 first-round picks as a top 5 guy. In the draft a few years back, he won rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year. We kind of last season seemed to tailor off, but I think this is the dysfunction with the Jets these last couple of years that's really kind of hurt his hurt his productivity, to say, hurt his productivity. And a lot of plays on defense kind of just goes unnoticed now, but being back in Indianapolis I think for the Colts, Tarvarius Ward, I think he's been out for majority, I think for the whole year actually, because of he may be coming off the IR here soon. So there's another, they signed him in the offseason as well. So you pair Sauce Gardner for the hell, he gets Tarvarius Ward. He's coming off a concussion, so we'll see how that happens. But pair those two together. Who's in the slot? Kenny Moore? But now all of a sudden the Colts secondary looks all right. Remember that Xavier Howard in the beginning of the year? Thank goodness he retired and got out of there because he was giving up play after play after play. So at the beginning of the year, the Colts were kind of struggling there. But I like this move for them. It's kind of like a win all now. Have a shutdown corner on the outside to help in this AFC because you're going to have to stop Josh Allen. You're going to have to stop Pat Mahomes. You're going to have to stop Justin Herbert. You're going to have to stop some of these offenses that have the firepower on the outside. So even Denver, to an extent, has been playing pretty good too. So the battles in the AFC, Colts still up the top at the moment. Beware of Baltimore. So it's a big move for them. The Chris Ballard, the GM, made. I like the move for him. As for the Jets, you get 2 first-rounders back. It's in full rebuild mode. They're only 1-7 on the year, so we get it. The fire sells on in New York. Which gets into the next guy. They traded defensive tackle Quinnen Williams to the Cowboys. Jerry Jones kept his word. He said he had a trade on the books, maybe a couple other, maybe. But this trade was already happening when the Monday night game and their loss to the Arizona Cardinals. Offense looked a little off. Defense, didn't play really well. But the Jets have traded defensive tackle Quinnen Williams to the Cowboys for a 2026 second-round pick, a 2027 first-round pick, and D-tackle Mazi Smith. The thing about the Quinnen Williams, he is signed through 2027. I think Kenny Clark, who they got in the Micah Parsons trade before the season started, I think he's signed through 2027 as well. So, kind of a good trade here for the Cowboys. They're going into the bye week. Get a little rest. Come back out. Maybe regroup. Jerry Jones is a believer all of a sudden. They get Quinnen Williams. He's one of the best defensive linemen. He really is an awesome defensive lineman. Gets after the quarterback. I think this year he's had like 32 tackles total. Only 1 sack, but it's the Jets, man. They've been disarray all year, but he goes to put the star on his helmet in Jerry's world. It's a big move for Dallas, Pairing him maybe with Kenny Clark can really help out that run defense that's horrible. This is one of the worst defenses in the league. That's without saying, what we see from the Cincinnati Bengals and whatnot. So defense is bad in Dallas. And hopefully this can help. And I think this is more of a building block. I don't know about Dallas this year. I really don't. Offense, you could say, hey, Dak, Pickens, CD, Javonte Williams play really good in the running back. The offensive line's blocking really well. But it's just always something with the team, right? And but I think this is going to really help them in the run game. Now imagine if they still have Micah Parsons and you acquire Quinnen Williams. Let's put that in perspective for a minute. Can you imagine still having Micah Parsons and you acquire somebody like Quinnen Williams? Like, dang. I don't understand why you let somebody like that go. I know it's money. Quinnen Williams is on a pretty good contract. He's not going to cost as much. I get it. D-tackle. But Cowboys, does it improve this team? Yes. Does it improve them enough to make a run in the playoffs? To me, no. They're still the Cowboys. There's still going to be an accident waiting to happen. Something going to go wrong. I mean, they just lost to the Cardinals at home on Monday Night Football to Jacoby Brissett. Come on now. Dak looked worse than Jacoby Brissett on Monday night. You got CeeDee Lamb. You got Pickens. You got Jake Ferguson. That's not to say Cardinals don't have anybody. I mean, Marvin Harrison Jr. was just owning Bland. Darius Bland out there playing corner on an island, juking him out of his shoes. You saw the upcoming on Marvin Harrison Jr. Trey McBride, one of the best tight ends in the league. I get it. They got some talent. But not as much talent as Dallas altogether on the roster. But on the offensive side of the ball. So, we'll see what happens with the Cowboys. I don't even expect them to make the playoffs. I don't have them being in the playoffs in the NFC, but maybe they get in the wild card. Maybe something can happen, but I just don't see it. I see this as a move to build on for the Dallas once they get into the offseason. Another trade. Eagles were making trades. They already got Jair Alexander earlier. Now they traded for Jalen Phillips, linebacker of the Dolphins. Dolphins received 2026 third-round pick in the trade. This is a guy, been injured. He was injured a lot in college, injured a lot so far in the NFL. But he's a decent DN coming off the edge, linebacker spot. So we'll see what it is. The Eagles are just stocking up. These little trades for these little, rotational players that can come in, make an impact, can really mean a lot. And as a former Dolphin player, they seem to really thrive once they do get traded out. And moves like this for the Eagles really make him a favorite in the NFC because this is a guy that can get you another 5-6 sacks at the end of the year. He's capable of that. And pairing him, actually, I think he's going to thrive a little more in Philadelphia because you pair him with the big boys up front, that's a little scary. That's a great advantage for the Eagles. And no, he's up for a contract too. So it's like, it could be a rent player for the rest of the year, but it's a great rental for the rest of the year. I'll take the chance. Eagles always seem to take that chance. And that's a good chance to take because the guy's going to get you some sacks. So I like that move for the Eagles. As for the Dolphins, well, they're 2-7. They're like the Jets. Both teams in the AFC East, man. That's the only trade the Dolphins made. So I expected to hear a few more names from the Jets or the Dolphins, but we didn't hear it as a trade deadline passed today at 4 p.m. The Raiders, Jacoby Myers, wideout, gets his wish. He goes to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jaguars give up a 4th and a 6th round pick for him. He's another guy. He's on an expiring deal. He wanted to go in a better situation. He made his frustration known in the offseason, wanted to be traded. A couple of weeks ago, said the same thing. I want out of here. I'll stay if you want me to stay. Give me a contract extension, blah, blah, blah. It didn't happen. Gets his West. Pete Carroll is known for that. If you don't want to be here, I'll trade you. I'm not going to sit and argue with it. That's kind of Pete Carroll's mindset that he's had over the course of being a coach in this league. And we all know that. So Jacoby Myers finally got his wish and got out of there. As for the Jags, Brian Thomas Jr., he got hurt last game. He may be out for the upcoming game. But they know they put Travis Hunter on IR. So they're trying to get somebody in. I like Jacoby Myers. Very underrated wide receiver. But if I'm him, I'm like, damn, I just went to the Raiders. Now I'm going to the Jaguars. I wish I would have went to somebody at least a little like a playoff team. Even though Jacksonville's in it right now. A better team. A little more established team. If I'm Jacoby Myers. But he's going to be a free agent in the offseason. I don't see him sticking around in Jacksonville. If I'm him, I wouldn't want to do it. If the money's right, he may. I just don't see it being a long-term thing for Jacksonville and him on that, especially if Trevor Lawrence is throwing you the ball, man. He's better than Geno Smith. I think. That's just my ordeal with, these quarterbacks. But grass ain't always greener. Brock Bowers' last game was awesome for the Raiders. You can put that in. Jacoby Myers did all right with him. I think that situation is as crazy as this may sound. At least you can get the ball. I don't know. We'll see what happens in Jacksonville. Now, the Saints, they traded wide receiver Rashid Shaheed to the Seahawks for a 4th and a 5th round pick. A lot of Saints. Chris Olave was on rumored. Rashid Shaheed was rumored. We knew they were going to get rid of one of them. We thought Chris Olave was just going to stay put. Rashid Shaheed, he's another guy on an expiring contract. Seattle's going all in. And with what they're doing with Smith and Jigba and Sam Darnold, you have Rashid Shaheed. It may not look much on the paper, right? It's a guy that averages like 15 yards a catch. He's a great return guy, too. He's a speedy guy. Can get behind the defense. So you put him with Jackson Smith and Jigba. You got the run game with Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet. You see how Horton's came along. Got a couple of touchdown passes last game against Washington. You know, this Seahawks team, Sam Darnold's playing better than he did last year with Minnesota when they went 14-2. They start off the game, and then they lost the last two games. Lost the final finale, then they lost the playoff game. And unfortunately, Sam Darnold got booted out. Right, we don't need him. Now he's in Seattle, thriving even more. Jack Smith and Jigba leading the league in receiving yards. It's crazy, the connection of these two guys. Now you got Rashid Shaheed. And I think this move is this move can actually propel Seattle. It's not a big-time household name, but you got to score come playoff time, right? So you get stuck. Remember the shootout they had with Tampa. They didn't quite hold on to that. Tampa actually outscored them. You think Buffalo could probably outscore them. Well, that's the NFC or AFC, but in the NFC, you're thinking Detroit may outscore them. So we got Tampa, they may outscore them. So you got teams that you think they may face in the NFC where it's like they'll probably outscore Seattle. Now, I think Seattle can outscore them. You know what I'm saying? So this can really help that move when you're trailing or you need a score. I mean, Jackson Smith and Jigba, nobody can stop him at the moment. They're a good double and triple team. It seems like it can't stop him. You add the other guy on the outside of him, it may make it even harder. So I like this move by the Seattle Seahawks. I think it's a big win for them. I think it's not a household name, of course, but I think it really is going to help them, especially against the Rams, their own divisional opponent, against the Niners, against these guys that, against the Lions, that they're going to have to put up some points when they really need it or need a big drive. This is really going to help them. Now let's get into some of the guys we didn't hear the name calls. We talked about the Jets and Dolphins. Fire sale. We expected more. Actually, for the Jets, I was expecting Breece Hall, running back, to get traded. He did not get traded. Maybe the asking price was too much. Maybe they wanted to keep him. But Sauce Gardner, I did expect him to get traded. But he did over Breece Hall. So Breece Hall, I think there's a few teams out there that could have really used him. Chiefs, for instance. I would have traded the house for Breece Hall. If I was the Chiefs, you had him to that. What they got going on, that would have been dynamite. Like, that would have been a big-time blockbuster. If I was the Chiefs, I probably would have pulled that trigger and done that. Even some other teams could have acquired Breece Hall. Maybe the Chargers could have acquired Breece Hall. I don't expect Amari and Hampton to come back. But they're kind of limited at the running back position. Yeah, Breece Hall to that. If I was Chargers, I may have wanted to do it, right? Like, because they're on the cusp. And then the Dolphins, Bradley Chubb was rumored. Jalen Waddle was rumored. It's been rumored that the asking price was way too high for both wide receiver Jalen Waddle or Bradley Chubb. But if I was the Dolphins, Bradley Chubb's cap, what is it, like $30 million a piece the next couple of years? It's just too much. They just signed Jalen Waddle to that extension. The way the Dolphins did the contract and why they fired Chris Greer is because of these contracts he gave these players and how they are structured, where it's just so much dead money hit. Like, you can't get out of any of these deals. Like, it's just hard. You're going to take a huge penalty to try and get out of these deals. So I expected them to take that hit, get Bradley Chubb out there, even if it was just for like a third-round pick or something, middle round. and get rid of Bradley Chubb that way, because this is really no building around him or having him a piece of this defense. As for Jalen Waddle, if you traded Jalen Waddle this year, I mean, you might as well good luck even passing for 100 yards in a game. I think maybe that's why they decided to keep. Hey, we want to look bad, but not too bad. We get rid of Jalen Waddle here, then give us 2 first-round picks in the third or something, or else we're not trading them. I think their asking price was just too crazy, like 2 first-rounders or first round in the third, or however they were negotiating, but it didn't happen. They have the interim GM making these deals. He did trade away Jalen Phillips, but I would have tried to at least trade away Bradley Chubb, maybe some guy in the secondary, just for like a 5th-round pick, 5th-round pick. So, but it didn't happen. Those are some of the guys we thought were going to get traded, but didn't. Overall, I think the Colts really won that trade. The Jets are going to have, 3 first-round picks in 2027, I think, now, with this trade. So, Jets really building for the future. They stockpile picks the next couple of years, kind of similar to what the Dolphins did some years back, but didn't utilize them too much. But that's why both those teams are at the bottom again, trying for another rebuild. Got to rebuild every 3 or 4 years in these cities, in these teams, organizations. So, it's just a little painful to be a fan. That is all. That kind of wraps up the NFL trade deadline. That's going to wrap up today's episode. And thank you all for joining me here on Sports Talk from the Crib with your favorite sports host, Tanner Christian. New episodes every Tuesday, now Saturday morning. So be on the lookout for them. It's on the website, sportstalkfromthecrib.com. It's streamed on all platforms. Check out the social media. We're at Feel the Heat Entertainment, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, X, TikTok, you name it, we're on it. Check out Cocoa Beans Picks. We're going to do better. We got to get some wins going. And I'll catch you all on Friday. Have a great one.